Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Masters of the Universe Tuesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Masters of the Universe, Masterverse, Masters of the Universe, New Eternia, Roboto. Let's get into it! Let's begin with a look at the packaging. And here we have Mattel, 6 and up, 30 points of articulation, Masterverse, and the 1980s exploded rocks everywhere. Because 1980s. Then we have a small window there showcasing some of the figure and one of the accessories at least. It says Roboto right here, Masters of the Universe, New Eternia. Let's take a look at the artwork. So we've got Roboto there just blasting stuff and chopping stuff. So he's being Roboto-y, and then the artwork comes around to this side. He's fighting rock dudes, and then there is Skeletor in the background probably making these rock dudes. And then over on this side we've got some nice artwork of Roboto by himself, just robot chilling. On the bottom here we have small fine legalese made in Vietnam print. MattelShop.com. Contents: 1 figure, accessories, a question mark, symbols I'm not going to learn, assortment number, and a barcode. Finally, we move around to the back. We got a nice practical shot of Roboto with, you know, a cartoon or drawn animated background, whatever you want to call it. And then it shows Roboto with some of his features. And these may be digital renders or practical photography. I'm not 100% sure. So here's another piece of artwork of Roboto there. Roboto, Mechanical Warrior. Skeletor stole away with Man-at-Arms' latest creation, Roboto. Using his diabolical havoc magic, Skeletor reprograms the artificial intelligence to do his evil bidding. So he's a bad guy this time. Uh-oh. Also available, sold separately, subject to availability. Colors and decoration may vary. King Randall, Roboto, this figure, and Beastman. Mattel, empowering generations through play. That, my friends, completes our look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And first up, handy dandy tweezers. Let's take a look at the accessories. So first up, he does have 3 different weapons. You can change his arm. I guess we don't really need that right now. So this piece looks kind of gunmetal-y, and then this piece looks kind of silvery, and you can see it's got a metal pin in it right there because this axe does spin. It spins pretty freely too. That's pretty cool. I like that. So kind of what the original was supposed to have, right? Except it probably should spin that way. So yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. And nice molded details throughout. You can tell this blade's been used a bit. It's got some nicks in it. So Roboto's been busy working for Skeletor since he got taken over by him. So here we have his gun attachment, which honestly looks, because of like these canister on it, looks more like a flamethrower than a laser like the original had. If you remember the original figure, he had, you know, it was similar to this at the back, and then he had a gun. It had 2 barrels on it. But yeah, this is much more flamethrower-y looking to me, and it's got a port in the end of it. Wish it would have come with a flame effect. That would have been cool. Maybe I have one that'll fit. I don't know. I'll have to look. I'll probably won't for this review though, because, you know, it's a Digital Caveman Presents review. Then finally we have his claw, much larger than the original figure had, and also at least part of it is articulated. Not this part, just this part. This part with the hose is kind of, it's stuck that way because of the hose, because it's molded in. Again, it's nice silvery plastic, but you can see a little bit of the swirly twirlies in it. And I guess this one is, yeah, it's silver too. It's not really gunmetal like I first thought, but this one, you know, is a different hue, so it's cool. He's got a pincher claw. And then finally we have his extra faceplate, or jaw, I guess it is. Lower face covering. And, you know, it's much more like in the vein of the classic figure. It's got these nice big holes in it though. And you can see it's not a round post in here, it's like octagonal or angled, whatever you want to call it. Now let's take a look at the figure himself and raise the camera up a little bit, and you can see like the colors are a little bit different, especially like right here. And is that purple or is it a shade of blue? I don't know. I'm colorblind. Don't make fun of handicapped people. But I will have to say, I do like the clear head, and it has, you know, it shows the robot components in there. There's his brain in here. You can see his eyes. So I think this is a bit cooler than the original figure. Had a solid head. Also, this is removable, but because of the shape of the pins, it doesn't move up and down like the original figure stuff did. Clear chest, just like the original figure, and gears inside of it, just like the original figure. On the back, he's got this dial, so when you spin this dial around, the gears do move. I really like that feature. It's cool. It does go back to the original figure, but the original figure, of course, had, you know, it was in the waist, and you would do that and the gears would turn, and it would also make the mask piece here go up and down. So nice shiny blue there for the arms, and some silver for the hoses on it. And then, you know, like this is more gunmetal, and then this is silver with some red on it as well. And of course I can't hold on to anything, so, and then so where the things plug in is just at the wrist. I felt like this whole piece would pull out, but it does not, and I can see why. It's a very deep cut for the elbow joint there. And one other thing that we'll look at is like some of the details behind the mask. And it ain't the easiest thing to change out, and you can see that's why the mask doesn't move. And you know, I don't mind that too much, because the originals move too much. And the new Eternia one, not new Eternia, this is the new Eternia one, the Revelation one, I don't really remember how it kind of turned. So you can see like teeth and stuff in there. He's like a skeleton. He's got a little bit of a nose there too. So that's cool. I don't really like the way this one looks. Maybe if it was a little fuller in here, but I like this one. And even the color on it I like. It's pretty cool. And you can put the thing in angled, so it, you know, you don't have to put it straight in like this. You can move it around if you want to. So let's take a look at his articulation a bit. He's on a dumbbell, it looks like. So he can look up that high, he can look down that far. He's got chicken neck. He's got a little waggle. He can do the full exorcist. At the shoulders, 360 degrees of rotation. And his arm raises up not quite 90 degrees, it doesn't look like. Cut at the upper bicep for another 360 degrees of rotation. Double hinged pinless elbow, and it gives you that much bend. 360 degrees of rotation at the wrist on an in and out hinge, and the other side is in and out also. So straight cut at the waist, nothing in the torso because of the gear gimmick, and I don't mind that, that's fine. So straight cut at the waist gives you another 360 degrees of rotation. Pull down hinge at the hips, which allows him to give you the full splits. He kicks forward about 90 degrees, maybe a little bit better than 90 degrees with that hinge engaged, and then a little more than his foot length back, and again that's with the drop down engaged. Cut at the upper thigh, full 360 degrees of rotation there. Double hinged pinless knee, and he gives you that much bend, so that's really good. Then at the upper shin, there's a boot cut for another 360 degrees of rotation, and then at the ankle, tilts down that far, tilts up that far, and then it has a pin for rocker, although the mold does hinder it a little bit going in, doesn't on going out. So now let's just kind of take a look at how the accessories work. And that don't want to go out, it's got a big old fat pin in it. So one of my favorites was always the gun, so we'll put that in. There's no tilt or anything like that to it, it's just straight up like that. So there's his bladed weapon. That never gets old. And then of course we have his claw. No, not the claw. Meep, 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 meep. So there you have it, my friends. There's a look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Masters of the Universe Masterverse, Masters of the Universe New Eternia Roboto, with the Masters of the Universe Masterverse, Masters of the Universe Revelation Roboto, and the Masters of the Universe Masterverse, Masters of the Universe New Eternia Man-at-Arms. For our last set of comparisons, here we have the Masters of the Universe Masterverse, Masters of the Universe New Eternia Roboto, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Masters of the Universe Masterverse, Masters of the Universe New Eternia Roboto, I have to say it's got some cool classic features with some nice modern upgrades. Now I like the fact that, you know, the chest is still clear. It still has gears on the inside that you can make rotate, and you know, I find that really cool. Always found that cool. It's the original figure. He's a robot. He's got clockworks on the inside, and they move. Now, I do like the update that it's a dial on the back rather than swiveling the waist that does it. I do like the fact that the jaw piece is not part of that. I don't know whether I'm glad or not that the faceplate piece is, you know, hard to adjust. Now, I do know the original kind of, you know, aggravated me some that it would move when you didn't want it to. And definitely not a problem with this one. But the pegs on those pieces are a little bit long, I feel. They could have been shortened up just a little bit to make the, you know, swapping out of that faceplate a little bit easier, or adjusting it a little bit easier, you know, whichever you would like to do. Another update that I really like is the clear head and being able to see those components inside, especially those eyes look really kind of a little bit eerie compared to the original figure. Now, I'm sure at some point they'll probably use bits of this for a vintage collection Roboto, and they'll probably use the same mold for the head, although this time it'll be cast in a colored plastic. Another update that I really like on this figure is the spinning axe, and the claw can actually clamp down. You can open it and close it. So that's another really cool updated feature on this one. So I guess the final thing I'm trying to say is, if you liked that original Roboto, you'll like this one as well, possibly even better. I think I'll like this one better than the original Roboto. Now, I do, you know, my hope would be, like, in the future they would offer accessory packs like they, you know, Mattel did back in the day, to kind of replace some lost weapons, even though they weren't the proper colors. But in the case of the accessory packs I'm talking about, it would be original pieces, just more armaments. You could do a pack that's Roboto and a pack that's Trapjaw, or you could just do a pack that has Roboto and Trapjaw original weapon pieces in it. And, you know, I think that would be a really cool way to hit the accessory market with this line. And, you know, Hasbro should be doing the same thing with G.I. Joe. But, you know, in the case of that, instead we have other companies who offer accessory packs. But, you know, that's something I'd really like to see, even if they only did it like Mattel Creations. To me, you know, that would be a cool thing. Another cool thing, backpack for Roboto that fits in that peg hole on his back. That would be cool, like a jetpack. I would like that. That would be cool to me. You know, your mileage, of course, may vary, because this is all my opinion. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.